What's up, VC? Cheers, got the coffee going. All right, I listened to the Impulse box set compilation. When I had seen it online and stuff, I thought it was like four albums of an album of each artist, but it's a giant compilation. And once I got to the record store and I overlooked it, I started listening to some songs and I was like, oh, I definitely want to get it. There's like three songs that aren't my favorite, still good, but the thing as a whole is killer. The songs that are good are like extremely good. And here, let me some standout ones. Stand real quick. All right. So let's see. There's still one album I haven't listened to. The very last one. So, John Coltrane Quartet, the song Africa. That's really good. The Elvin Jones, Jimmy Garrison Sextet, Just Us Blues. The whole side one is one song, it's really good. Side two is really good. Now, the song John Coltrane, Alabama. That song's wicked good. Super good. It has Charles Mingus, Better Get Hid in Your Soul, which is on a hum, but it sounds like it's a different recorded version. I'm pretty sure it is. Yusuf Lateef, Sister Mom, Mammy. That song is really good, and it's a live song. This whole thing's really good. Well, so far, these first two, and then the next one I listened to was good. Like I said, there's like three songs where I was like, didn't grab me yet. Like I said, the songs that are grabbing me are really getting me. So, I think it's a good buy. One of Quality Control, the box set's really cool. It comes with all kinds of cool stuff. It's really durable. There's even a picture of like the edges of all the Impulse albums. One of the albums was a tad bit warped, just a little, like a little wobble. Still bothers the shit out of me, but it didn't affect playability. And they do sound really good. So, I was lucky. I played 2 gigs in a row. I was lucky enough we played Friday night at one venue. And this was with Joe Allen, the Box of Chocolates. We did 2 shows in a row. So, a little chunk of change. So, you know what? I was like, screw it. I'm going to purge. I'm going to get the damn Impulse box set. Like I said, I don't have that much Impulse. I only have one artist I can think of, and it's this one right here. It's a good one. And I didn't really know Impulse was... I had not really ever seen it. I had only had this one album, and I tripped down the label. It's one of those albums, if you see the label, you're going to remember it. So when I started watching VC videos, people were like, oh, Impulse. I was like, oh, I got some Impulse in there, and it's Mel Brown, Chicken Fat. And this is original pressing. This is really good. I highly recommend if you see this. And it's usually not that expensive. You can get this for a good deal. I got this for like $16, so super good. So that ramble on. I got a couple new records today. One that was on hold, and then hold on, gotta get my eye boogers out. We can't have that. All right, one that was on hold, and then I grabbed this 45 that I didn't recognize from the Coal Mine little catalog they got. I went and listened to it, and I was like, oh, this is really good. And I was like, let's just see out of curiosity if they have this artist, their whole, where is it at? Oh, all right, right here. If they have their whole album with the song that was on the 45. And they did. And I haven't even listened to it. It's Jake Nager. At first I thought it was Jake Major, but it's Jake Nager and The Moment of Truth. Cool name. In the Cut. And the song that I listened to that grabbed me was Grab a Soda. High Cost Living. I'm pretty sure those are 2 songs on the... So, and this is what's weird is the 45 was on the Coal Mine, but this isn't a Coal Mine record. So it's it's the redwoodsmusic.com. So it's the Redwoods label. I've never heard of this label, but so I'm hopefully it's not a different recording than what's on that 45 because I love the shit out of what I heard. But fingers crossed. But I picked it up. It's from 2018, and this is soul. And like I said on my list of music, I did a list of 10 genres, 10 albums. Well, there's a lot of other genres I still listen to, like electronic, funk, R&B, bluegrass, country music, folk. I have all that on vinyl. I love all that stuff. So, I was trying to get a whole other list of 10 more genres. So we'll see. We'll get there. I had to think about it for a second. Anyways, I'm gonna crack this open. I'll tell you what I think here in one of my next videos. And then the other one I got that I heard a little bit of, it was one of those ones where they were playing in the record store, and I usually recognize 70%, 80% of the time, like, I know what this is. It's that rare 20-30% of the time I go in there and I'm like, okay, I don't recognize this, and this is good. If I don't recognize it and it's not really grabbing to me, I'm not really too curious of what it is. So maybe it's more often than that I don't recognize stuff. But this was on. It was a jazz album. It seemed familiar, but not familiar. And I was like, okay, I definitely haven't heard this, but this sounds really good. I asked him what it is, and he pointed to this. Cubana B, Cubana Bop, Dizzy Gillespie. And I was like, I only have one other Dizzy Gillespie now, but at the time I had seen this, I don't have any Dizzy Gillespie here. It's one of those things where I feel like his name, for me, kind of gets overlooked because you're like, oh, Dizzy Gillespie. Obviously, he's a legend. Like, other legendary people talk about Dizzy Gillespie. But because his name is so just common, and I kind of just, yeah, he's a legend. Well, if he's such a legend, dude, you need to listen to him. I don't know why that didn't just kick in. And so, I'm looking forward to hearing this. What I had heard in the record store was blowing my mind because I was shopping around and it was playing. You know what I mean? Like, so I got to hear like a part of one of the sides. He was side one, but so either way, I was just like, so my point is, sometimes these people who have such a big name like Dizzy Gillespie and even Miles Davis, like Kind of Blue, I didn't get for a long time because I felt like Kind of Blue was their Nevermind album, so to speak, because everybody's always like, oh, Kind of Blue, Kind of Blue, Kind of Blue. What's crazy, I got Bitches Brew probably in my late teens or my early 20s. Probably more like my early 20s when I was going to junior college. So, but I had seen Kind of Blue. I probably could have gotten an original pressing of that for a fairly good deal back because there's this one record, this Honey Hole, and it still exists, and they have a huge jazz section and nobody gives a shit, and the dude who owns the store doesn't price shit for whatever, like some of the shit's been priced 10 years ago and it's still the same price tag on there. I'll go in there and I found this golden jewel. I found a Lenny Brew album that you don't ever hear about. And he had it for like $7, man. It was trippy. But anyways, I never got Kind of Blue. Because I just felt like, whatever. Like, fuck, if that's his popular album, like, I know it's good. But, so it's funny. So after I got into the VC, everyone was pumping the Kind of Blue, right? And so I was like, I still haven't heard Kind of Blue. I've been listening to Miles Davis for almost 2 decades now, and I still didn't get Kind of Blue. Because that's how bad I was like, dude, I don't give a shit like about his Nevermind album. I want to hear his fucking gritty stuff. So I figured, shit, Ty, you're almost 40 years old now at the time. Let's go get Kind of Blue. So I got a mono pressing, and I put it on, and I was like, holy shit, now I see why everyone says get Kind of Blue. But I'm glad I slept on it for so long because maybe if I would have heard it, if I would have just jumped to Kind of Blue in my 20s, I would be like, oh, this is good, but it super hit me at this age. So regardless of when it gets to you, it's totally fine. That's like irrelevant of the importance of it. Just if it does, that's awesome. And if it doesn't, I would say if it doesn't get to you now, even after I hear sometimes people say, oh, I don't listen to jazz. You gotta dig deep in the jazz because there's so much jazz. Like, some of it, we'll have some similarities here and there, but like when you finally get to McCoy Tyner's Contemplation, you're shitting Twinkies. Now that, like, I don't care who you are. If you say you don't like jazz and I put on that song Contemplation, it's gonna get to you. And even this De La Rocca. Jeez, this album's been getting to me big time. Pete La Rocca, sorry, not De La Rocca. Pete La Rocca, this album right here. Even the opening track, Malaguena. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Malaguena. Anyways, this whole album is fucking. This is probably one of those albums where there's not really a song in here. This whole album is really good, but and then the song Basra. Holy shit! Like, if you're not a jazz lover, I'll put on Malaguena or Basra, and I guarantee you're gonna trip out. Like, you're like, all right. I'm not a huge jazz fan, but those songs are good. So if you don't like jazz, dig a little deeper. Kind of throw something on shuffle, maybe on Spotify, or just go for it. Try to you'll probably find a song that's gonna blow your mind. Same thing for like bluegrass. Sometimes you get into bluegrass, and all of a sudden, I got a record back here. It's a comp. I used to go through the comp section of the country, and you find some crazy bluegrass records for like $1. And so I don't have a huge. So I have a pretty decent bluegrass section, and I love the finger picking, even with the finger picks on the fingers. I just love that stuff. So, but you kind of got to dig through it a little bit. I've been if you get the one with a bunch of different bands, it's sometimes you'll find some golden jewels in there. So they're worth checking out. But so anyway, my point is, you got to dig through the stuff sometimes. But that being said, don't take some of these big names for granted, like I did. And like Kind of Blue, I slept on it for so long. When I finally heard it, it blew my mind. So of course I got the original master recording, and now I've already ordered the UHQR recording of it. So if you're, has that happened to you? Have you slept on an album longer than you? What's an album that you knew of, and you kind of just didn't listen to it for whatever reason? Now I'm yelling because it was coming on a little heavy, and then you finally listen to it, and you're like, holy shit! Now now I see why everyone's freaking out. Has that happened to you? Am I alone on this weird venture? I know you guys are probably laughing. You're like, I can't believe that motherfucker slept on Kind of Blue for 2 decades. Yeah, I'm kind of tripping out now that I think about it too, but it's just how things go. Like I remember when I was real young, I'd heard a couple little Zappa clips, and it was his instrumental stuff that got to me first, and I loved his instrumental stuff so much that it made me start to listen to his stuff with his vocals. He has a great voice, but his shit was so just off the wall. His lyrics are like very comedic, so it was like, I was laughing at how comedic they were, and then I would analyze it. But it was start off with the music, then start to enjoy the singing part. But either way, I don't know where I'm going at this point with everything, but just give everything a chance. Like I see some people are saying they don't have too many different genres in their collection, and that's totally fine. I totally get that. You go through phases where you will just listen to a certain genre for a few days or a week or whatever, mixed in with a few other, all the other genres that you're in your collection. Like right now, I feel like the genre that's getting the most play would be like jazz, and then like R&B and funk, and then some death metal and thrash. That's like the top 4 right now in rotation. Then the blues is getting snuck in. But and I think sometimes too, because I don't know. Sometimes it's good to hear the stuff you're not playing on guitar. I don't know if that seems weird, but I play in between a few of the bands I'm playing, it's like over a couple hundred songs. So sometimes I'm like, man, I love blues. I still can listen to blues like all day long. But if I just rehearsed with blues, we played 3 hours of blues, I want to break from blues on the ears a little bit. I don't want to break. It's just my ears will gravitate to something that's not so blues. Even what's funny, I posted my 10 different genres, and then stunt rock confusion. For some reason, guys, I can see good, but for some reason I see stuff and I jump to the conclusion of what it says. I thought stunt rock confusion was stump rock confusion. So I read that for whatever reason, and I was like, that's a weird name, stump rock confusion. But I was like, okay, that's kind of funny, maybe like stump rock. I didn't stunt rock. And then I seen people calling him Stunty, and since I thought it was Stumpy. So that's, if I say that a couple times, it's because for like a few weeks, I thought his channel was literally called Stump Rock Confusion. So I even commented a while back saying, dude, I thought, he was like, hey, that's either way. So I think his name is Christian. I could be wrong. I don't, if I'm wrong, comment your name there, Stunty. But so either way. And another thing is too, I was thinking about I was originally going to the record store to, there's a soundtrack to a certain movie, and it wasn't the first movie, it was like 5 movies later. I was like, oh fuck, I want the original one. And I'll tell you once I get it, this damn album's like, I don't even want to say it right now yet, because this album's actually kind of hard to get, and it's kind of pricey, but I love the soundtrack, so I'm like, I gotta get it. And I thought they had it, I got excited, and they didn't. I was like, oh shit. So either way, that happens. But when you go, you can still, it's easy to get caught up in the hype in the VC, as far as I love how actually all the channels have different stuff and love different things. But right now, Kind of Blue, quite a few of us are going to get that UHQR. Now, you can get a Walmart version, and that shit's gonna sound, it's gonna blow your mind, okay? So don't, like, it's just, you start chasing the dragon. Once you hear a good album, you're like, fuck, and if you can afford to, and you're like, God, if I can find something that even sounds better than this one, you're trying to go for it. But it's a small depending on your system, it's a small difference in your ear. So, don't freak out too bad, but you can still, like, don't follow the trends. Don't get me wrong, I follow the trend a lot, but go off path. You can go in a record store and just go and look at stuff you don't recognize. Like, if you don't recognize it, YouTube it and listen to it, or stream it on whatever streaming platform. Or even go to the record store, take some pictures of stuff, go back home, listen to some of the stuff, and then go back. You know what I mean? And then and maybe pick some of that stuff up. But you can still. It's easy to overspend, in just record shopping. It's easy because, especially, there's so much stuff coming out. And then there's almost like, oh shit, you have that, I don't have that yet, and you love that, so you're already trying to get new stuff that's getting reissued, new stuff that's coming out, stuff from the past that you don't have, so it's a lot of just a fucking flood right now. So the cool thing is you can still, and like I was like, can you even still like just shop and get some crazy shit without, yes you can, and that's how I found Ralph Towner, that's how I got this record that's playing right now. Just going in there and just stay away from all the shit you already know. No expectations. Don't go like just stay away from it. Go outside. Go to the electronics section. I hardly ever looked at the electronics section until recently, because a lot of the soundtracks I listen to have electronic music in them, and I love that shit. So I'm like, dude, you don't even have like, and it was some of these channels are playing showing some electronic stuff, and I'm always like, all right, I like it. So I didn't even realize they had an electronic section. It's actually past the soundtracks. I feel like it's like the very last thing you would look at. But just go look at, whatever you don't listen to normally, go look at that, because you're gonna discover some stuff I guarantee your ears are gonna be thankful to hear. And then that's cool shit. Like a friend comes over, or you post a video and like, hey, check this out. This is blowing my mind. And none of us have heard about it, and you discovered it on your own, and then we were like, holy shit, thanks for letting me know. You dug through the trenches a little bit to find some good stuff. I'm totally thankful for that. Oh, and this isn't a Santa Cruz shirt. This is a Liars Club. What's up, Chicago? Really cool venue. Go check it out. But yeah, so just go find them. Don't be afraid. Go off the beaten path and go find your own stuff. Well, I'm just gonna finish this coffee. I'm grooving. I'm looking forward to spinning these other two albums. And alright, I did hear some of these people calling vinyl vinyls. I'm okay with it. It reminds me of like some mafia. Yo, we're gonna go get some vinyls. So I'm totally cool with it. But it's weird. I'm actually more millennial. I'm millennial. I'm only like weeks away from millennial. I'm like a whole year away from the fucking boomer. Or no, boomer is like my dad's generation. So I'm a year away from Gen X. But there's because my dad was a boomer. That little bit of me wants to be like, it's not vinyls. People are like, that wasn't even funny. But so if you want to call vinyls, go for it. Look at all the mices over there. I'm not gonna correct you. Look at all the deerses. Look at all the deers. Now we're just in we're in straight ramble land now. The funny thing is I pretend like, oh, you know what I mean? I'm in a room with all the VC and we're just hanging out, fucking cheers, motherfucker. I'm talking to a fucking camera. This is what life has come to now. Oh my gosh. My dog paws like, yeah, you've lost all hope. Alright. That was weird. Okay. I finished that one. Alright, like and subscribe. Go check out all the other channels. And I realized once you hit 100, I got to change my banner. That was a hard decision, okay? Like, do I show my stereo? Do I show a row of records? Do you mean me in a row of flowers doing the Jesus Christ pose? Like, I guitar, pedal board, salt and pepper shaker, fucking A1 steak sauce. I had no idea what I was. So if you guys if you might have been like, okay, how his shit's been different every 3 minutes for like about 20. Whatever. If maybe okay, maybe none of you even noticed that, and I just ratted myself out that I tried like 5 different pictures, and none of them. I finally just left it on a row of records, right? And then I was like, well, do I want to show like some metal or some jazz? The shit that it's first world problems right now. It's just so what keeps me up at night. Anyways, stay positive and play lots of vinyl. Thanks. Next time, bye.